So the president is very busy on this eve of the 4th of July, Kevin.
A flurry of tweets, I like it. Look, last night the president talking with the Prime Minister Abe of Japan, as well as China President Xi Jinping about North Korea. Later today he'll have 3 phone calls with leaders, including Italy and Germany. Of course, they'll be a part of the G-20 summit in Hamburg, Germany later this week. But I got to be honest here, the backdrop to this second foreign trip is very different than the backdrop to the first foreign trip, when global leaders, including those in Europe, while skeptical of this administration, were still willing to go along with the White House in their meetings. But now, of course, you have a situation, David, where there isn't any guarantee that the president is going to be meeting with these global leaders once he is at the G20. German Chancellor Angela Merkel, of course, is frustrated at the fact that the president has withdrawn from the Paris Climate Agreement. And on the flip side of that, everybody wants to know whether or not the back and forth between Moscow and Vladimir Putin, whether or not there will be any type of meeting between Mr. Putin and President Trump.
At the same time, he's been on the phone now to President Xi, to Prime Minister Abe, we've heard Merkel. He's going to talk to at 9:15 this morning Eastern Time. He's going to talk to Italy. So he's certainly making a big push. And he also says he's talked to the Emir of Qatar.
Yes, and I think that in terms of the conversations that he had last night with President Xi Jinping, we should note, David, that it comes just a couple of days after Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin actually put new sanctions on the Bank of Dadong in China, a China financial institution. Now, the White House, David, is saying this is not any sanctions on the Chinese for a result of what's going on with North Korea. They're just trying to say that this is just an isolated incident with regards to just one financial institution. But there is no question that the White House is definitely trying to increase pressure on the Chinese for their to try to influence them in their dealings with North Korea.
So Kevin, finally, let's get back to the economic policy, which is why the president really said he wanted to be elected, economic policy. and Chancellor Merkel had said she really wanted this G20 summit to be about trade and international economic growth. Is there a chance that we'll get back to that agenda by Friday?
There is a chance. I mean, I think that they will, at least from the White House's perspective, they want to talk about trade. They want to talk about bilateral trade agreements. But I think that since their first international trip, President Trump's decision to remove himself in the United States from the Paris Agreement is definitely going to be something that the European counterparts are going to have to deal with. And we should note that there are several prominent business leaders and politicians here in the United States who are going ahead as if the United States still is in that Paris Agreement.